It's a dream shared by pretty much every golfer everywhere. We would give almost anything for an invitation to tee it up at Augusta National. Well, I can't fire up the private jet to take all of us there in person, so how about we have a little fun in the simulator world, 3 holes at a time. I'll explain and we'll play straight ahead. Hello friends, Bill Hobson here. Welcome inside the MGL Sim Studio, where we're going to have some fun over the course of the next few videos. This is the launch pad for a 6-video series, kind of bringing to reality in a simulated world, if that's possible, the idea of teeing it up at Augusta National. I mean, when winter comes to an end, and we all start seeing these promos on ESPN and on Golf Channel, with that soft piano music, the visions of green jackets, Rays Creek, and the towering pines, and all of the incredible imagery that comes our way from the season's first major, what would you give to play Augusta? So I thought, since that invitation is unlikely to arrive anytime soon, I thought we'd use the Sim Studio and play a course really, really similar. I mean, really, really similar, but not called Augusta National. Just keep that in mind if you're a part of the copyright police. This is a completely different course that just happens to have holes that are named very similar to Augusta National, with features that are very, very similar to Augusta National. So here are the parameters that I've set up for the competition. First of all, I've turned off mulligans. Anybody who uses a golf simulator knows that one of the best features of a good sim is the ability to, in my case, hit that little button on the ground there and get a mulligan out of it. I've turned that off. I have set up the gimme circle around the greens, the virtual greens, to 2 feet. Why does that matter? I have one friend who plays in a simulator league and told me that his gimmies in the sim league are set up to 10 feet. Well, that's not playing, right? So they're set up to 2 feet, but the greens are moving at 12 or 13. I can't remember which I have set up. Otherwise, we are going to play this not from the tournament tips. I can't play a 7,500-yard course. You all would be laughing hysterically, and then you would stop watching. So I've set this up at about 6,700 yards, and we're going to play 3 holes a day, 3 holes per video. And I'm not taking any mulligans. We'll tell you everything that happens. We'll kind of talk through the strategy, talk through the shots. Granted, I am playing it from 1,000 yards closer than the big boys, or almost 1,000 yards closer, but you'll get the idea. And for everybody who has spent a good portion of your golf fandom watching and memorizing every possible feature at Augusta National, I think you'll be amazed at how realistic it's portrayed here in the sim version. So at the risk of running into some sort of copyright police, I don't want to do that. Here we go, playing a course very similar to one near Augusta, Georgia. There is no green jacket handed out for this. We're going to have a little bit of fun. So we start off on hole number 1, which is the par 4 called Tea Olive. Now, it's been about 15 minutes since I've taken a swing, so let's see if we can kind of get the old bones moving again. A couple other things to point out to you. You're going to see some data points up there on the right side. You should know that I don't swing all that fast. I am a very controlled golfer, try to keep the ball in play. But anytime we get a chance to play a hole that looks this amazing, I just think it's outstanding. That bunker that we just flew past, of course, is the one that professionals have to avoid. And because of the distances that are different for me, it's also in play. So let's see if we can keep it out of the bunker. We get started on number 1 here at a course that looks an awful lot like Augusta. I think that's going to be all right. I'll take that. Now, some of you are watching at home, you're saying, guy only hit it 246. What is that all about? Are you a little baby hitter? Well, I told you I wasn't all that long. My tee game has been described by some as deceptively short. which I find funny. Okay, 129 in, but one of the important features to keep track of is that we also have to go uphill almost 10 feet. So I'm going to add, I hope, about 6 yards to the number. We'll go 129, we're going to go about 135, which for me, I've got a little 9-iron here. And everything on this course is about positioning the ball on the greens. I'm pretty pleased with that. It might even come back a bit. Oh, I should tell you also that for the entire round, oh, come on, ball, let's go. For the entire round, I've set up, the course setup is Sunday pins. All right, I'm pretty darn pleased to start off hitting the first green and having a realistic look at birdie. For those of you who are new to the simulator world, those little dots that you see on the green are indicating the severity of the break. So some are going left to right. They're going fairly slowly, so it won't be a very severe break. And then some are running away from me, which means this is downhill. You'll see later on, I'm guessing, that some will be uphill coming back to us. Let's see if we can birdie one and get off to a great start. Now remember, we don't often play greens that are stimping at 12 to 13. We're not going to hit this one very hard. Oh! Not only did I barely touch that, it creases the right edge of the cup and then goes through the 2-foot circle. So I got to putt the comebacker, which is an even 3 feet here, save par. And the simulator didn't pick that one up for some reason, so let's try it again. Okay, when we hear that beep, that is the simulator telling us that you're good to go. All right, we opened up with a par on number 1. Now we come to our first par 5 of the day. Here's number 2. Let's take a little flight, shall we? Beautiful, beautiful hole. Turns to the left, and you may remember Louis Oosthuizen a few years ago making a double eagle here. That Sunday pin is in the front right corner, tucked behind that bunker. But you may also recall that there is room and a ledge to hit it a little bit left of the pin. So we're going to start things off. I'm 525 away. Highly unlikely I get there in 2. So let's make sure we get a tee shot that at least sits in the fairway for us. Got that a little high. Let's see what it brings us. Don't you go in that bunker. That'll be a problem. Don't you? We just covered that. Oh. That is an unforced error, my friends. Got a long ways to go in, so we can make something happen out of this. I'm going to take a 6-iron. By the way, if you're looking at the club selections in the lower left part of the screen, just know that when you're playing around here, those club specs don't matter. You can hit any club. The key is what's happening up top here with the Unicore launch monitor. Okay, so what I want to do is just get this 6-iron down there a little bit on the left edge of the fairway, hopefully, to set up a better angle in for my 3rd. Like I said, I was hoping to get it off to the right side and not hit it nearly as far as I thought I would. So the number you see in the middle of the screen is the countdown to the remaining distance to the hole. So I've left myself 107 yards, a little bit downhill. And obviously, we've got to get it over that bunker, right? So we can go a little bit left of it, and everything should feed over to the right. Took out a little gap wedge. Let's see if we can get one over that bunker. That felt good, but I pulled it something fierce. I'm going to need some help here because I don't want to go above the hole. Oh, it stopped. Well, that was an unforced error, I guess, as most all of them are in golf, right? They're all unforced errors. Oh, not what I wanted. Okay, so 30 feet And as you can see now, the white dots going away from me are going a bit quicker. They start off going left here at the top of the putt, and they move to the right down at the bottom. This is all about pacing, and I'm a little leery of this one. If I'd have put that about 3 yards to the right, it would have run right down to the hole. Guess that's user error. Let's see, settle, settle. All right, not bad. So you can see why if you had 10-foot gimmies, it would be a little different world, right? Another 3-footer to save par. A little bit right to left, not much. All right, 2 for 2. Although I would say that in the actual tournament, that if you end up making par on number 2, you'll lose a stroke to the field. And here we go to number 3, today's final hole. This time we're going uphill 5 yards, so 15 feet uphill. Shorter for me, it's only 334. Some of you watching are thinking, oh, I could drive that. I cannot. I'm not even going to kid myself into thinking I can or injure myself trying to do that. Number 3. I felt pretty good about that one. I don't know what the carry's going to be. For me, if I can get my club head speed, get out of there. Oh, 2 bunkers. If I can get my club head speed up in that 95 range, that's pretty good for me. Well, here's the dilemma that we have caused for myself this time. Those of you who know the Masters know that the green to number 3 is fraught with peril. I mean, this thing is a dangerous, disastrous mess, and it's a very small target. So let me take a little flight up there, and I'll show you what I mean. We'll go up from here, I think. Well, let me look at the heat map. So the heat map is what tells us where the breaks are. So if you can see, the blue is always the lowest spot on the green. The red is the highest. Well, the blue is left. So I'm going to have to play this out to the right a bit. And certainly don't want to leave it short. So we're going to have to get a solid bit of contact on this. When you're in the bunker in a simulator, obviously we're still hitting off of the same turf, you generally want to add about 10 to 15% to your distance and swing accordingly. So I'm going to play this a little bit out to the right, I hope, and play it at about 115-ish. Short is no good here on 3. Oh, let's see if we got that right. Well, we got it on, but I'm going to need a lot of help because that is going to be a brutal putt. Oh, and it stayed up there. Oh, okay, so you can now see those white dots, and they are screaming from left to right. The putt overall elevation-wise is pretty flat, but man, they are. So this is where, at least in my sim, I don't change the aiming arrows. I actually hit it as if we were outside playing. So instead of me putting directly at the flag, I'm going to try to estimate how far left I have to roll this thing out of just the very fringe part of this green. Man, I didn't think I hit it that far. All right. So now instead of 11 feet, it's 11 yards because I'm not on the green, so it gives it to you in yards. If we get this inside that circle, I will be very happy. Not even close. Oh my goodness. That might go off the green. That was horrible. All right. Wow. All right. So I didn't even come remotely close to that. Now we've got the white balls coming at us, and that's uphill. And then we're going left to right a bit. So a 13-footer to save par. That was a very, very poor first effort by yours truly. This to stay even through 3. Get, oh, I left it short. There we go. First 3 holes of the course that looks a little bit like Augusta are in the books. We'll see you tomorrow as we play 4, 5, and 6.